Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. It is time for Friday night on the Homestead. And tonight's topic is, what amendments are you adding this year? How's everybody doing out there? All right, let me get over here up to the comments so I can make sure I got everybody. I think someone else just came in. So first one in was Crew 1351, followed by CR, then Kaylin Strain, then Geeky Gardens, Shady Hill Homestead, Diana, and Kaylin said she added all 26 amendments. And all right, there we go. All right, I thought I saw someone else flicker up there, but I must have been imagining. All right, and those that are lurking, just listening, that's fine, but we'd appreciate it if you at least say, lurking or, listening. All righty, everyone. Oh, and everyone, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Help me out here. All right. Okay, so it's that time of year where people are out there starting to work on their gardens, their lawns, their properties. And it's time for us to think about adding the amendments to the soil to help stuff grow. This morning or this afternoon here, I was out there cleaning all the old dead growth out of the raised planter beds, tossing it down into the new area that I'm backfilling with wood chips and compost, and getting ready for my raised planter beds here. As soon as I finish getting them all cleaned up and ready, I'm going to be adding some stuff to them. I'm going to be adding stuff to the new garden area out front. I'm not sure if I got that video over here or not. But there's, I took a little short video out there. I'm working on putting it together to show what I'm doing out there. But I've doubled the size of the garden in the front yard. And I got to go through the backyard and get it done. And then I got to put out, I already put in the backyard around the trees. I already put out one of the amendments. I'll go over that here in a second. So I've been working on it and going to be doing more stuff here, but let's go to a list of some of the amendments. So what are you adding? Well, I know what I'm adding. I'm adding some fertilizer, different types of fertilizer for different areas. The out in front where I have the extending the garden, doing it. Basically, I've taken half the soil, moved it over, added a bunch of compost, added a bunch of wood chips. I'm going to be bringing in several trailer loads of compost with cow manure in it, adding that to it. But I will also be adding to it a couple, some garden nitrogen, specifically to help the wood chips and stuff break down so it's more usable by the plants. So I'm adding the hang on, one question. Well, generally I go on what the garden looked like last year, what I could tell it needed last year, and since I'm adding a bunch of wood chips, although I'm adding a bunch of compost with it, since I'm adding wood chips, I know I need to add nitrogen to it. I'm expanding the area. I know I need to add calcium to it. The calcium I'm going to be adding is garden gypsum. And Bob is adding shredded raccoons. And let's see. And I'm just adding a lot of what I'm adding for the most part is going to be the nitrogen, the calcium. I'm adding some sulfur. I forgot to put sulfur on the list. I'm adding sulfur because that helps lower the pH, because I'm up in the 8s and 9s in the soil around here, so I need to lower it down some more. So there's those are some of the things I'm adding to it. I don't need to add sand. I don't need to add straw to it right now, because especially the front garden, because to have all the wood chips and other biomass going in there. And like we mentioned last week about biomass, that's something you can add to it if you need it. Biomass, what I add will be probably, if I do add straw, it's going to be as a topping after I have the peppers planted, after I have the zucchini planted and the other stuff, and then add the straw around it so I can push it up against it to keep weeds from growing up near the roots and stuff. But the calcium helps. Calcium helps certain a lot of plants and stuff, but it also if you add enough calcium, then you don't get dandelions, because dandelions grow in calcium poor soil. Adding calcium is a double-edged sword. I usually wait to add the calcium to the lawn until after the first batch of dandelions has come up. I can see what areas are lacking in calcium, because that's where the dandelions are going to grow. The bees are already out. The bees hit the dandelions first, as that's one of the first flowers out there around here that are popping up. So I let the first group of dandelions go. So that they can be there as flowering for the bees. I am working on putting in some other flowering plants that'll come up early as well, that I won't be in the lawn. And he's trying to come up here.
Hey.
There he is.
Yeah, no avatar. I'm back on my iPad.
Back on your iPad?
Yeah, my dog's barking. Yep. It's all right. There we go.
Yeah. So, but as fertilizers, you can add different things. I'm looking for to try to find a natural thing for the phosphate and the magnesium. I don't want to put too much magnesium into the soil. There are certain plants that magnesium inhibits, where calcium encourages in the plants. You know, just the opposite of the human body. The human body needs more magnesium than it does calcium. So I'm just. So
why don't you just use potash, or just ash from a burn barrel?
Well, I haven't been burning anything.
Well, time to start. You had a ton of stuff you could have burned, but you chipped it and threw it out in the yard instead.
Well, there's I guess because I need out there to burn that. I'll probably get on in the next week or two here, and then I'll be spreading the. I'll burn it, and I'll put it out before it fully burns, so I have a lot of biochar, and I'll add that to the garden areas as well.
Yeah, I do that in my burn barrel. Whatever biochar's in there is great. The rest of it, it's ash. I just put it in a bucket and keep it dry and scatter it around. I throw some in the bottom of the holes when I plant stuff.
Yeah, usually the stuff I put in my burn barrel, I don't want that ash in the garden because of the chemical.
Well, my burn barrel is literally all my garden trimmings.
So yeah,
branches. I don't burn cardboard and all the other garbage in there that trash. I don't burn trash in there.
I got a pile out there with all the trimmings, all the garden stuff, to burn out in the back here. So yeah, my burn barrel is trash, and that goes into the trash can. I bag it up after it's cool and put it in the trash can. Ooh, I do have Epsom salts. I do put that around certain areas. Hang on. I gotta look this up real quick.
Yeah, here. I forgot about that. There's not a lot of magnesium in Epsom salts, but there is some.
What is?
What is what? What is in Epsom salt?
Okay, so Epsom salt, magnesium phosphate, sulfate.
Oh, sulfate.
Sulfate, HEPTAHYDRATE, and it's got a long friggin' name on here. Basically,
whatever.
Yeah,
there's only two ingredients in Epsom salt.
Yeah,
there's only supposed to be two ingredients. If you're buying some random stuff on Amazon, they probably add stuff to it.
Yeah. But it has but it's a magnesium and the magnesium sulfate and blah, 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 which is the sulfur. You get magnesium, sulfur, and oxygen.
It's sulfur. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sulfur dioxide, whatever. It's not sulfuric acid, and it's not sodium chloride.
Yeah.
A salt is something that precipitates out of a combined chemical mixture, or I forget the rest of the definition, but it doesn't mean it's table salt.
It's a salt like bath salts are salt. It's not a salt.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to sprinkle that on your food. You want to plant your food with it, but you don't want to sprinkle it on your food or soak your feet in there. You're good.
Yeah. Typically it contains 9.8% water soluble magnesium and 12.9% sulfur, which is sulfur is what I really need here. What's interesting, though, the magnesium is good for seed germination. That's why I use some Epsom salt, an Epsom salt solution for my for chitting my seed, because they need that. They pull the magnesium when they first sprout. But once they have the magnesium and they're sprouted and doing stuff, then they don't need it as much. And Glenn's here. How to garden? Hey, Glenn. Now, probably, best fertilizers going back to the fertilizers, best fertilizer to use is grass-fed beef manure, where they're not being fed corn with, or some of the other stuff that has chemical traces of glyphosate or Grazon. Oh, you definitely don't want anything with Grazon in it. Unfortunately, they spray a lot of the alfalfa,
including the beef. Yeah.
Yeah. They spray a lot of the alfalfa fields with Grazon to kill the other weeds, but it doesn't kill the alfalfa. So, yeah. But other fertilizers, rabbit poo, chicken poo. Chicken poo you got to be careful with because it's hot and it's best to let it compost for 6 months before you use it.
Or you put it in a 55-gallon drum with water and make a tea out of it, and it'll stink really bad, but it'll gas off pretty quick.
Yeah. Goat poo. Pig poo is one of the ones you got to let compost for at least 12 months.
What, pig poo?
Yeah.
Yeah, pig poo stays hot for like almost a year.
And it's not just that it's saying hot; it's some of the other stuff that's in it that needs to
doesn't break down.
It needs to break down, and so there are a lot of natural fertilizers you can use. So your fertilizer, you got your calcium, which is your gypsum, your garden safe gypsum or fast acting gypsum. Nitrogen. I've been using the garden nitrogen bags from Lowe's because it's the cheapest.
Got your grass clippings.
I do that too. I put that in the compost pile.
Mm-hmm.
but for just putting out like on the wood chips, oh yeah, I'm putting out the nitrogen pellets out there out in front because I want that stuff to break down and feed the plants. Biomasses, we talked about last week, all the different biomasses you can add to it. Because biomasses also help break up the clays a little, so you don't have your soil doesn't go rock hard piss.
I'm dying to get. I have that swampy area, probably about 1.5 acres of like it's almost always wet. You don't walk in there because you'll sink, but things grow, and it's just like probably 2 foot of like sludgy biomass, and it's all the forest stuff in there. And I'm just dying to go in there and get a bunch of bucket loads out of it, let it dry out, and sprinkle it around, and use that as natural fertilizer, which is organically local to me, like 50 feet away.
Yeah. Around here, the water doesn't sit on the surface around here. It goes right into the ground here.
Right. Well, this is literally only about 8 feet above the stream level, which is bedrock. So, yeah, it slowly works its way into the stream. But that's it. Are you getting an echo, or is it just me?
It might be me a little bit. Anybody else out there? I'll put my earbud in here and plug in the. Ow! All right, there we go. Now it's plugged in.
Is that? Hey, that worked. It is you. It's always you.
It's only me because the StreamYard's sound canceling isn't working right like it's supposed to. All right, because CR said it seemed okay to him.
Okay, it's probably just on StreamYard side.
Yeah, micronutrients and stuff. Yeah, natural stuff. If you know, natural bog stuff is always good. Oh yeah, they're working on the federal level too to totally eliminate all protections for all chemical manufacturers, pharmaceuticals, pesticides.
Yeah, because we've been growing it this way for so long. If we stop using it, everything will die. So we got to keep using it. No,
yeah. All right, biochar. Yeah, you can make your own biochar. You can do small batches like in a number 10 can and a pit and stuff. Little hole to do it in and cover it up. If you got a 35-gallon metal barrel with the removable metal lid, yeah, that works great. You just poke one small hole in the side
or the top
near the bottom, and you just lay the metal lid on. You don't put the banding on it, and it will.
I wouldn't. Well, you don't put a hole in the bottom. You put a hole in the bottom, you're going to introduce oxygen. It's going to burn out.
But
you don't put a. No, you just put. You just either leave the. You leave the lid cracked or put a hole in the top.
A little hole in the bottom, because after you run it for several hours, then you put some weights on top of that metal lid. The oxygen's not coming in anymore. It's just sitting there, choking out.
If you're going to do a big barrel, though, you need a really big fire. You need a lot of wood to keep that thing burning until it stops steaming and smoking. And you
build it up, and when it's full and it's
you're talking do the fire in the barrel. I'm talking load the barrel up, don't poke a hole in it, leave a little hole in the top or the lid a little bit loose for the steam to escape, or you make a bomb, and then put that over a bigger fire and just heat the crap out of it. But you need a lot of wood to do a 55-gallon drum.
That's why I said a 30.
Yeah, or the little metal garbage cans with the snap down, the old galvanized style ones. Yeah.
Those, however, you don't want to use because
you get the galvanic
gases, the galvanization, the zinc and stuff into the biochar.
Right.
But yeah, there are some really good videos out there making biochar. Anthony at Pimento Prepared did one about 4 years ago where he was doing it. It was showing how he was doing it there, and showed it. Made some really great biochar. Next thing here, sugar. This is one that most people don't know about. And
Ant food.
I've been learning about this from, I just forgot the one you sent me the link for. What's his name?
Oh crap!
Something or other LLC. Soilworks LLC.
Oh, the one that does the he uses the visual meter thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And part of that visual meter is reading the sugars. The sugars are the carbon getting, like biochar and stuff, getting the carbon down in there. But regular sugars and stuff really gets the roots going. It's like a natural steroid that doesn't cut off, like the stuff you get in certain. It's a miracle it can grow type stuff. Prepper for the Ages just came in.
So basically, it's like giving your plants diabetes.
No, not diabetes, because they don't have insulin. They just take that sugar and turn it into the carbon of their structure.
Oh, they turn it into energy like your grandkids do.
Yeah. And hey, what was it? Geeky Garden said, oh yes. Okay, I'm an idiot. I didn't even think about that one, about turning the bones into after bone broth into bone meal.
I do that because I throw them back in. Well, I actually make dog meal for mine for the chicken bones. Yeah. After I get my broth out of it, I throw it back in a pressure cooker with just a little bit of water. Pressure cook the crap out of it, and the bones just turn to mush.
Yeah.
Then you can eat it.
That is something I'm gonna have to get with my daughter about doing, because with all the chickens she has over there, she sends some off to a freezer camp now and then. And
that's not a lot of bones, but yeah, you can actually make biochar out of the chicken bones. Throw them in a can, poke a little hole in the top, throw it in the fire, and turn the bones into biochar.
Yeah, and there you're probably getting both the maintaining the calcium from it, the bones and stuff as well. So thanks, Jack. That's an idea I'll talk to my daughter about, because she has a couple of raised planter beds she's been talking about needing to add bone meal to. So I'll talk to her about that. Okay, so sugars, and you can go when the sugar is on sale in the big 25-pound bags. Get a couple of those and get one of those hand crank broadcasters. You just go out there and just kind of spread it over your garden area to get it out there.
Yeah, just don't do like my wife did a long time ago. She bought the soil test kit, and it needs this, and it needs that, and then she bought all the individual items, the calcium, the nitrogen, all this stuff, and she added it to the garden, and the numbers went just insane. Because it doesn't work that quick, and she didn't know, neither did I. I let her do it, and nothing grew. I mean, literally anything I planted out there died.
Yeah. Break out the fertilizer in the bottom of the chicken run. Unfortunately, right now they have the chickens across the street, and they're using their chicken run scraps for their garden. So when my wife gets up here, she wants to get some chickens of our own, and she also wants to set up what's called a chicken garden. Where you can put the chickens out there, and you have more. You have it so you don't have a lot of chickens in a chicken garden. You just have 2 or 3 out there, so they don't devastate the plants, but they go after the bugs.
Yeah, they eventually go after the plants too. But the other thing I've seen people do is,
the plants are big enough, it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, but if you fence off like an area, you make your portable fencing, whatever. Yeah. Fence off like a large area, you have all your recent compost and stuff in there, and just let them have at it. And they will scratch through that thing. They will spread that stuff everywhere and get all the bugs and stuff out of it. And you spread that, and then when they're done in that field, move them to another field, and then you can plant that field, because even the little bit of chicken poop you get out there, it deteriorates quickly in the sunshine and the open air.
Yeah. All right, next one here I got. More water.
Water? Who needs water? I don't need water. I don't need no stinking water.
Yeah.
I'm growing watercress. It makes its own water, right?
Yeah. So one of the things to consider adding is a watering system. It's it's an amendment. You're amending the soil with water. So, yeah. But yeah, you might want to. That's one of the things you might want to consider there. I don't think I have anything else after that. Yeah, I got question mark for anybody else has other stuff to add to it here. But water, not just adding water, but adding timers and stuff, so you're not overwatering and you're not underwatering. And I like the timers that that you can add. It'll do it by the minute. And
well, it depends on what kind of sprinkler. If you're using like a drip system, you can literally don't waste the money on the digital stuff. If you're around, just go out and get one of the mechanical timers, just crank it up to, half hour, a couple times a day, and you're good.
But see, like if like my wife does, when she comes up here, her entire garden is on timers, drip system, everything.
Right.
And that way while she's gone, it's, the drip system's running, it's on its timer, and then she only has to get Alex to go out there and hit certain pots that look like they might be getting a little dry and hand water them like she does normally. Yeah. There are certain there are certain things that the chickens just around here just love. The bugs and stuff. And my daughter's chickens, one of these days I got to go out there with the camera and follow them around for a while. Her chickens rove around, and they're like 3 to 4 packs of chickens, and they just go around. They just hit different areas, and they go through the backyard. They'll hop over the 8-foot high fence, fly over the 8-foot high fence. And they'll start going after the backyard for all the bugs that came in during the night, or bugs that were hiding the day before. They're up eating early in the morning. They, take care of those. Then they start wandering into the side fields, eat this way, that way. Then they start going in in front of the fence. There's like a 12-foot grass area that city property that they it slopes down from the road, so that's where the water and snow, they push the snow to, and the water run off to. They're going through that, eating all the bugs out there, and occasionally they come over and hit my garden, which as little as they come over, it's like, oh, that's no big deal. So,
until they start finding something, they keep coming back with more and more of their friends every day, and all of a sudden, crap, where'd my garden go?
Well, that's the thing. It's like a high school with those chickens. They're in their cliques. And they stay away from each other.
Okay, just to be clear, chickens don't call it cliques, they call them clucks, okay?
But yeah, the only time they're all together is at night, because they all go together back into the chicken coop. And yeah. Let's see.
Actually, I had to buy a dozen eggs today, because of the 160 eggs I've gotten over the last 3 weeks, they all went in the freeze dryer except for like 4 of them. My wife ate them last night.
Yeah, there was. I got to go out to the one cargo container, because we collected for years. My wife was buying back in California, was buying the eggs at Sam's Club. And she has a bunch of the cardboard flats. She has a bunch of the cardboard dozen and a half ones and stuff like that.
Yeah, if they're in a container, be careful. If there was any humidity in there, they went moldy. It's cardboard.
It's not. I check on them. My daughter goes out there now and then and gets one for her when her chickens are producing a lot. She'll get 1 or 2 of them, and then she, because they use eggs, but all of a sudden they're producing more eggs than they're using, and she gives them away to friends around the city.
Right.
There. But on the Facebook group I Love Firth, someone was posting that we are overflowing with eggs. If you have a carton, the cartons and stuff. Bring me the cartons, and I'll fill one of the cartons up with eggs back for you.
There you go. Trade off.
Yeah.
Give me 3 cartons. I'll give you 1 full. Yep.
Yep. And so I got to go out there and see how many I got out there, and move them from the cargo container to the shop, because it's a lot easier to walk out to the shop and grab them than it is going over there and getting into the cargo container. And so that's one of the things we're going to be doing there. But when my wife gets up here, we're probably going to do the chicken garden under the orchard out on the north side of the house, and use that where the chickens, we'll put chickens out there for their chicken garden. And the front garden, we'll just let my daughter's chickens come over, once or twice a week, as they would do, and just go around looking for bugs, because her suckers are friggin' carnivores to the max. I can't remember what the type of golden one. She has some Rhode Island Reds, but she has these other ones which are a golden brown, and they're bigger, fat, and they fly, and they But yeah, so far they haven't been pecking at the stuff that they've planted across the street. The early lettuce and stuff. They're not going after the lettuce; they're going after the bugs.
Chickens love lettuce and cabbage. You throw like your leaves and stuff when you peel stuff, and you're going to eat it. Throw the leaves in there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll also go after the zucchini and the other squash, and break them open in there. What's funny is that they'll go after it, they'll decimate the seeds and stuff, and then they'll turn it, they knock it over upside down, so the outside of it's to the top and the soft stuff's to the bottom, and they'll leave it there. It's weird. I'll watch it. They leave, okay, I guess they're done with it. All of a sudden they go out there and they start turning it back over, and there's all these bugs in it. And
smart chickens.
Oh yeah, and they've passed. A couple of them figured it out years ago, and they've been training the other chickens. Every year they train the new chickens. Yeah, just the price of water in California is friggin' insane, and they got restrictions. Oh, you got a household of 4, you can only use so much water, and yeah. So that's why my wife uses the timers there. I use the timers here because I have a lot of my stuff go off during the night, or turn on. It starts
yeah, pretty electric.
Watering the lawn, watering the soaker hose in the planter beds early in the morning, late in the afternoon, evening, as the sun's going down. It's past the heat of the day, to get the soil moist so it retains moisture during the heat of the day. Let's see. I got another load of wood chips. They came by and dropped it off yesterday. Freaked my daughter out to see the truck. She called me, why is the truck out there? Yeah, I told them they're going to start dropping off loads of wood chips when they have a full load and they're heading back to their main yard. If they pass by this direction, they're just going to whip in here and drop them off. So it's like,
there you go. Where? On her side or your side?
On her side.
Okay.
Out in the 2.5 acre field over there.
Yeah, and just go out there with the tractor and spread them out.
Spread it out.
Or don't spread it out. Leave them in piles here and there. Let the chickens go at it. They'll spread it for you and get the bugs at the same time.
The problem is, if I don't spread it, for some reason, the morning glory goes, ooh, wood chips, and they start rolling through it like insane. The one that sat out for almost 1.5 years, when I went out there to get at it, it was, the bottom half the pile was just tons of it, of morning glory. So I just was able to take some off the top and use it. The rest of it, when I spreaded it out and then I rotor-tilled it in and all that morning glory, I was surprised there wasn't morning glory coming up this spring out there where that was.
It didn't get a chance to go to seed. So the plants that came from the seed, you chop them up before they do anything, get a flower on and go to seed. Oh, yeah, you killed it. You're done.
It'll regrow from the root.
Oh,
and the roots here go down 15 feet sometimes. But there was something about it. That area wasn't. Now watching, in a couple of weeks here now it'll pop up there. But,
just go get some Roundup and just spray it. Kidding.
I'm a Boy Scout. Can you read between the lines?
I can't. I had to go mute because my dog's starting to bark at a siren now.
Yeah. Exactly. The mulch, the biochar. My wife on the raised planters in the driveway, after we added a bunch of the compost to it, spread a bunch of the wood chips, the pine wood chips, out over the top of it, and it did pretty good at keeping the moisture in and at keeping most of the weeds out. But it really wasn't thick enough. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to be stockpiling all of my grass clippings so that I can layer it across it. Because wherever I have the piles of grass clippings, or I just pile it, the other weeds don't do well there. So
the nutrients are wrong and it's too hot for them.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's in some areas, some people actually have to add sand to their garden, but you got to be careful. If you have clay, you can't just add sand to it. Does that make
concrete?
if you add in the wood chips and the other stuff into the clay, start breaking it up, a little bit of sand in there allows reaction to help break it down. I'm trying to remember what the other thing was to add. Dang, I wish Courtney had made it in here, because Courtney did it in her clay area and broke up the clay. Planting certain plants that the roots go down and break up the clay, and after a couple of years, then you can plant other stuff in there, and it's got all these holes going down through the deep clay for their roots to go down to tap the water. And that's the other thing, plants can become live plants can become amendments for future years by going in there and doing deep soil penetration, like the dandelions do. They go deep to bring up the calcium.
Oh, what an idea! I'll plant a field of dandelions on my property, piss off all the neighbors with grass because the wind always blows their way, and I'll just tell them in and be like, "Yep, we're good."
Hey, you get a field of dandelions. Didn't you? What you need to put out there? A couple boxes of bees.
Oh yeah. I'm sure if I had enough flowers growing all the time, the bees would find it, make a queen, and make their own hive somewhere, and keep me pollinated.
There are certain plants you can plant out there amongst your garden that actually add things to the soil,
like nitrogen.
Nitrogen. So your peas, which you harvest, but thing is with peas, beans,
clover,
and those, that once they start producing the pods of peas and beans, they're pulling that nitrogen back out again. That's why, like my wife is doing fava beans. They get up big, green. They're pumping the nitrogen in, and when the blossoms come out, chop and drop. Because all that greenery has nitrogen in it, plus what it's already stored in the roots. Now you cut it off. now nitrogen's going into the soil. Yeah,
radishes. Yep.
Good daikon radishes that go down 3 feet. Oh yeah, they break up the soil.
Well, they're not going to go down 3 feet if you have hard clay, but they'll go down a fair distance and break it up. And they're not going to go 3 feet if you have like only hard 2 clay. Inches of soil and it's hard clay under that. Yeah, you'll get some funny shaped daikons.
Yeah, each year they're going to go especially if you leave them in the ground, you just cut it off and let it decompose. Each year they'll go a little bit deeper as they break it up. Is that worth a warning or not?
Not really.
Not really. All right, we'll let that one slide.
That was just kind of a crappy, bad. Not even a Sorry, CR. You're still on the job. Come up with something better.
Yeah, there are, you can, like Mark said earlier, you can buy those test kits, but you got to understand that it's not an instant change for the soil. No. You don't want to dump a bunch of different things in there at the same time. But that's like with the fertilizer, the compost, that's already mostly broken down, and you can, the compost, you can grow right in it almost immediately.
Right. That's what I'll be doing here over the weekend is my 55-gallon drum of everything from seafood shells to you name it. It's been going in there, all my food products. I mean, it's a sludgy, but it's a barrel with holes in it, and I rotate it around. I throw grass clippings and that in there, and that goes into a couple 5-gallon buckets. I just walk around. I'll move my dirt off to one side in one of my raised beds, dump some in the bottom, cover it with dirt, and all the nutrients are down there, and the worms just love it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the other thing.
Worm castings.
Not only, worm casting, but worms themselves. You can buy the little bags of worms. I mean, if you got,
red wigglers, you can buy a bag of like 10,000 of them for like $20.
Yeah, but if you have the pots, the big pots and stuff on your and for your on your patio or balcony or wherever, you can get worms and just put them in there, and you're probably gonna have to do. I don't, if they stay out in the winter and the snow and the freezing, you probably unless I really don't think the worms are going to survive unless they're
earthworms.
The earthworms are going to survive unless they're
they need mulch and stuff for them to live under.
Unless they're able to go into hibernation or whatever. Now, I heard I've always heard that earthworms divide. But then I heard later, this year, earlier this year or late last year, that worms also lay eggs.
Yeah, I don't know. They're mono. I forget the name for it. Where they're both sexes. They don't need anybody. They do it themselves. Now, I don't know if they lay eggs, if they have live worms. They're not mammals. I mean, we all know that worms are, if you cut one open, it's just full of dirt.
Yeah. So that's something else you may want to consider adding to it. I actually probably should order some and add some to all my my IBC tote raised planter beds so that they can get down there in those and do it. I know the planter beds in back where even though it's on the north side of the house, I'm using them as a retaining wall. So there's that one corner down there stays warmer than the rest of it. So they might be some of the ones I put in there last year may have survived. I'll find out as soon as things go on here. But yeah, so worms is something else to add to that for your amendments, and actually make amendments too. I think. Anybody have any other amendments? Stuff you'd like think we should add to it?
Anything for your kitchen. Oh, and by the way, unless you live in a city environment, if you throw meat and stuff like, meat that leftover fat, stuff like that in your mulch barrel, you're not going to attract rats. You might attract raccoons, depending on where you are. But if you bury it, and I do that, I don't care what it is. It goes in a bucket.
Yeah.
And it goes in my mulch barrel. Nothing's getting in the mulch barrel except for bugs and worms, and I don't care about the bugs. They're breaking stuff down too.
Yeah.
And then the maggots, whatever else gets in there, sure. They live until they finish up, make bugs, and then they eat that, and then they die because there's nothing left in there. But I just dig a trench and throw meat stuff in there and cover it up. I don't have raccoons. Rabbits aren't going to dig it up. Birds don't care, and the worms it'll break down, and the worms will eat it.
Well, not only that, you have certain beetles and stuff that dig down a little bit.
Oh yeah,
they'll go after it. Oh yeah, the beetles will. The beetles will eat it. Will eat up the fat and the meat and everything else. And yeah.
And if you know somebody has a good commercial kitchen that they kind of sort of separate their stuff, they're not throwing like cardboard and plastic in the same barrel. And you can get them to just throw all the food scraps in one big drum. Give them a drum with a bag or no bag, and come pick it up at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of things you can do for adding amendments of any type to your garden. So we're at, all right. So let's see. Tomorrow night on Gray Man Prepping Survival Saturday, after a all European war starts, what are your plans?
Not go.
Oh, we're not going to France this year. We're not going to go over to Belgium or Czech. No. But yeah. So Monday night back here on Camppatton Family Compound, your favorite thing to can. So everybody, if you do any canning, come over and share your favorite thing to can, and we may go to your second favorite thing to can as well. Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping, when is bugging out worth the risk? So basically, when do you bug out? When do you shelter in place?
When is that?
Thursday?
Sunday?
That's Tuesday.
Tuesday, that's right.
Yeah, Tactical Tuesday. Thursday night's the Midnight Ride. Next Friday here, I'm going to be doing an update. I hope I'm going to be out there with shooting a bunch of video this week, showing everything that's being updated here on the homestead here, both on my side and across the street. And hang on, let me make sure I don't have to push out. Check the weather again. Crap. Monday and Tuesday rainy. Next Wednesday. Hang on, let me refresh this. See if it goes a little farther to get it here. Yeah, Monday and Tuesday. Oh, it's only 30%, 20% chance of rain, and it's sunny for the rest. Yeah, so I should be out there to get plenty of footage and get stuff done. I've never heard of that. Of course, people may be mistaking what mold is for the CR. Help me out here, Kaylin.
What, the leaf mulch, Leaf Grow Pro? I mean, it's just decomposed leaves.
The white stuff on there.
Oh, mycelium.
Mycelium. Yeah. They may be mistaking mycelium for mold. And I didn't know about no one ever told me about mycelium until I was on with
what, Joe?
Just in time prepping with Howie and the Green Wizard, Ron Netzel, and they were talking about mycelium, and it's like, oh, you mean that? Oh, that stuff's good. Oh, crap.
Yeah, that white stringy looks like spider webs underneath the leaves. Yeah.
Yeah. It was also all over the pile of before we had a wood chipper of all the branch clipping. We could cut all the branches up and pile them out there. And one year we never got around to burning it and had all the leaves and everything else on it, and that stuff was just everywhere. We didn't realize what gold we had.
So you burned it.
No, actually, we raked it out and sunned it and burnt it, sunburned it, and then put it back.
You get that even on the bark. If you leave bark on a tree and it's like a year or two old, and the bugs and stuff get under it, you start peeling bark off. Oh, you get it under the bark between the sapwood and the bark. Yep. Yeah. That's where a lot of mushrooms grow there, but I don't know which ones are edible. So you're on your own.
Exactly.
They're all edible ones.
Yeah. However, I'm a firm believer you are what you eat, and I'm not a fungus.
But you are among us.
I don't plan to be a humongous fungus. Kaylin says 2 more nights of 30 for temperature. Plant, yeah. Well, hang on. Let me go back to my.
If it stays this cool for a while, it's gonna be
tonight. Is 35. The low tomorrow night is 40. 43 on Sunday. It starts coming back down again after the rain. Then it's back up to goes up. Oh, highs. We have tomorrow's supposed to be 70. Sunday's supposed to be 73. Yes. Monday 72. Tuesday with the rain is supposed to be 66. 69 on Wednesday, 76 on next Thursday and Friday, and the lows are going to be 43 and 46. Yes, I'm going to be moving the orange tree outside tomorrow.
Yeah, give a little bit of little ray of sunshine.
Yeah, you got to give it more sunshine, more more everything, and hopefully it'll give it a good growth spurt here. All right, folks. Well, that's what's coming up, and hopefully you have a good time with your planting, whether it's on a balcony like Kaylin or in the warm weather of Florida like Geeky Gardens and Glen How to Garden, or you're farther up north like Mark and myself. All right, everyone.
Hey, if it stays in the 40s and 50s, man, lettuce does really well.
Oh yeah.
So I got 16 little trays of lettuces and things and herbs and that all growing right. It all started. Did it during the week while I'm working.
Ow. 89 already. Yeah. All right, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow night over on Gray Man Prepping for Survival Saturday. Take care.
Good night.